Hi, I'm Heidi McQuay, and I'm here with Dr. Bryan Baker from Masterworks Chorale to talk about our upcoming concert. This concert is called So Sings My Heart, and it's all with music from living composers.
Right.
Tell me a little bit about that.
So there are mostly American composers, people whose musical language really appeals to a lot of people. And it's very lyrical, heartfelt kind of music. That's why So Sings My Heart. With really beautiful poetry that's set. They set really beautiful poetry and really important concepts behind the music. So there's things about youth and life and fate and love and freedom and also sort of building a better world. So they're really important themes.
Fern Hill is based on a poem that you talked a lot about in rehearsals. Can you tell us about the poem and what it means a little bit?
The poem is by Dylan Thomas, and it's called Fern Hill, and it's an amazing poem. It's very lyrical and beautiful, and it's about his youth. He was a sickly lad and spent the summers with his aunts and uncle on their farm in Wales. Beautiful, beautiful countryside. And had a very happy time while he was there. And so he writes about this in wonderful, wonderful language. But underneath it, creeping in bit by bit through the stanzas, is this sense of fate and the impending cruelty of time and how his adult life was going to be so tormented, as indeed it was. He didn't even live very long. And he had lots and lots of troubles as an adult. And so there's this idyllic youth, and it's one of the most beautiful poems ever written about youth, at least as far as I know. And then, but really what makes it amazing is the way that underlying character of almost despair about the future creeps in without taking away the beauty of the poetry or the words, but it sort of gives a sense of awakening to maturity, gives it a lot more depth.
Right. We're also performing 5 Hebrew love songs by Eric Whitaker. That has a beautiful backstory. Can you tell us about that?
Oh, yeah, sure. This is Eric and his then fiancée, Hila Blitman, were in Europe touring with a violinist. And so they were doing concerts. And Hila speaks Hebrew, and so Eric wanted to learn a little bit. And they have a sort of teasing relationship with this. And she taught him a little bit, and she wrote 5 poems for him. And they're short, beautiful little poems, each one kind of like a little picture. And so he set them for violin and soprano, because she's a wonderful soprano, and he played the piano part. And they proved really popular, and so he arranged them for soprano and alto choir with violin and piano, and then again for mixed chorus, tenors and basses as well. And then, again, a little bit later, he arranged it so there's no piano, it's just string ensemble, and that's what we're going to have this time. So these 5 poems about young love, and they're just so subtle and so beautiful. Again, it's another piece where the music matches the poetry so beautifully that the core of the poem each time is expressed in the whole character of the music. It's really lovely stuff.
Beautiful. Thank you. And we just today got a commissioned piece, right?
Yes, I'm very excited. With a group of other choruses, we commissioned a piece by this renowned English composer and arranger named Bob Chilcott. Yeah. And so we're doing a piece, a brand new piece. We'll be the first people to ever perform it. Yay! Nice. And it's called The Real, R-E-A-L, The Real of My Heart. It really has something interesting that carries you forward in the music and sort of leaves you thoughtful. Yeah, it's not just sort of, isn't this nice? We'll wrap a bow and put a bow around the paragraph. It's got something interesting and intriguing to carry you forward with the piece. So I think it's really nice.
Yeah, that'll be exciting.
Yeah.
And the men and the women are both singing their own songs as well.
Right.
Correct.
So the tenors and basses are doing a piece called The Tree of Peace, P-E-A-C-E, and it's by a woman named Gwyneth Walker, who we've done some of her music before. It's a beautiful piece, just the sound of it. It's very rich and powerful in the way it grows. It's a very, very hopeful piece, poem by John Whittier Greenleaf, about creating a world full of peace. It's beautiful, and the tenor bass sound is so rich and resonant, and they sound great. And the women are singing, the sopranos and altos are singing Tundra, which is by Ole Yelo, who's Norwegian by birth, but lives in America and thinks of himself as an American. But it's describing his homeland, Norway, and a specific place in northern Norway full of tundra, and how sort of gray the landscape is, and the mountains and the clouds, and how they move around, and how still the earth is, and the motion, almost the dancing of the clouds above. And the harmonies are just so beautiful, the way they just move slowly changing, much like the landscape. If you've ever watched videos of northern Norway, it's amazing to watch the tundra and the clouds moving along the way. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful pieces. And y'all sound really wonderful.
Oh, thanks.